The second that somebody starts telling a story, everybody clues in. That's why those of you who've ever been to church and you're daydreaming and you have no idea what that guy up there is saying, as soon as he says, let me tell you a story about how this affected me and my wife, you start paying attention. So let's ask ourselves, what are these formulas? How do they work? And how can we use them to get people to pay attention to us? Let's introduce a framework that helps you come up with the sound bites that will help people understand how you can help them win the day. And in order to do that, we're going to use an age-old formula that comes from story structure. The first thing that you got to have if you want to tell a story is a character. A hero has to show up on screen, and that hero has to want something. They have to want something, and it has to be crystal clear and defined what it is that they want. When your customer can't quite understand how you can change their lives, they're going to do business with somebody else. So now that we've identified what our customer wants, we've got to define a problem that they are struggling with. That's the next part of the framework. You've got what the character wants, and then you've got the problem. In your marketing and messaging strategy, you've been hiding the gold. You've been hiding the hook that catches the fish. The hook that catches the fish is the problem. You need to own a problem. You need to own it. If you own a problem, you own the market. Now you say, Don, I've got 10 competitors who sell the same thing I sell. Let me just ask you this. Are they talking about the problem? If they aren't talking about the problem, you have an opportunity to dominate all 10 competitors. That's the only reason people separate with their money. They only separate with their money. They only place orders to solve a problem. So we've got to get the language right when we're talking about our customer's problem. All right, the next thing that we've got to do, now that we've talked about their problem, we've got to position ourselves as the guide in their story. They are the hero who has a problem. We are the guide helping them win the day. What do I mean by guide? In stories, you have heroic characters trying to win the day, and then you have guide characters trying to help them. Luke Skywalker is a hero. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a guide. When it comes to doing business, people are not looking for another hero. They're looking for a guide. They're looking for somebody to enter into their story and help them win. They are not looking for another hero. How do you position yourself as a guide? I want you to demonstrate with words that you care about your customer. If you are struggling with this, we feel your pain. We understand. We care about you. The next thing that you need to do to position yourself as a guide is come up with sound bites that demonstrate competency. That I feel your pain and I understand your pain and I know what I'm doing when it comes to get you out. My product will solve your problem, full stop, period. We borrow your confidence that your solution actually works. So you've got to have empathy, a giant loving heart toward your customer, and big old muscles to solve their problem. That's what we need from you and your product. Empathy and authority. The next thing that we need, I need a plan. Because I really want to buy your product now. However, it's complicated, it's confusing, I'm a little bit scared I might lose my money. So what I want you to do is I want you to give me a 3-step plan. What you'll find is that 3-step plan, those 3 baby steps that you give them, dramatically increase the amount of engagement that you get. Because they don't have to predict the future, they know the future is step 1, step 2, step 3. The next thing that you need is a call to action. You need to tell the customer it is time to do business together. And you need to be bold in your call to action. Don't say learn more, say buy now. Say schedule a call. Ask them directly for the money. You got to challenge them and say it is time to buy. The 2 more sound bites that we need are going to complete the story. Now these are called stakes in a story. What can be won or lost based on whether or not I buy your product. We need a sound bite that lets everybody know exactly what's going to happen if they buy your product. You need to give me a vision of a better future. The next soundbite that you need is the opposite of the success. You need a failure soundbite. You need a soundbite that tells me what horrible, no good thing is going to happen if I don't buy your product. And so we would actually say, your life could look really wonderful, but it does not. Your life could look really great, but it doesn't. It looks like this. Remind people of how terrible their life looks without solving the problem that you solved, and how great life looks if it does. Let me summarize exactly what these sound bites are. The first sound bite. I need a sound bite that defines what your customers want. Give me very short, simple language. 2, what problem is your customer experiencing? I actually need internal, external, and philosophical. So 3 sound bites on that. I need you to position yourself as the guide that the hero trusts to help them solve their problem, which is an empathy soundbite and an authority or competency soundbite. Next, I need you to create a clear 3-step plan that will help me win the day. Then, call me to action. If you are struggling with X, buying Y is the right move. Would you like to buy it? And then give me 2 more sound bites. Explain what life will look like if I solve the problem, and explain what life will look like if I don't. These sound bites have worked for 2,500 years to compel a human brain, and they are going to work to make people interested in your business or your products.